My name is Magrete, and I have 2 months to live. But that is not the purpose of this video. This video talks to me and the gift this news brings.
Margaret got the news on a Tuesday. Stage 4 pancreatic cancer. The kind that doesn't respond to treatment anymore. The kind where the doctor's voice gets softer. Where they stop talking about years and start talking about weeks. Maybe 2 months, they said. Maybe less. Margaret sat in her car in the hospital parking lot for 40 minutes. She didn't cry right away. She just sat, watching people walk by, living their lives, not knowing theirs would end too, just not yet. This message is for Margaret, and for anyone who's been handed a timeline no one should have to hold, whether you are 24, 50, or 89. And Margaret, if you're watching this, I want you to know something first. What you're feeling right now, all of it, it's okay. The anger, the fear, the crushing unfairness of it, the grief that comes in waves at 3 a.m, the panic when you wake up and remember, the exhaustion that has nothing to do with your body and everything to do with your heart. You don't have to be brave yet. You don't have to find the silver lining. You don't have to smile for the people who don't know what to say. You've been fighting this disease for so long. The appointments, the treatments, the hoping, the hurting, the way pancreatic cancer steals not just your strength, but your hunger, your comfort, your ability to do the simple things you love. And now they've told you the fight is ending. You're allowed to be furious. You're allowed to wonder why. You're allowed to look at your garden and grieve that you won't see it bloom next spring. But Margaret, I also want to tell you something else, something that might feel impossible right now, but it's true. These next weeks, they can still hold life. Not the same life, not the life you planned, but life that matters, life that echoes, life that stays. And I'd like to sit with you for a while and talk about that, if you'll let me. Meet Eleanor. There's a woman I heard about named Eleanor, 78 years old. She was given 3 months, and somewhere in the fog of those first terrible days, she had a thought. It surprised her. She thought, I know how this ends now. Most people don't. And in a strange way, that clarity became a gift. Not a gift she wanted, not a gift she'd ever have chosen, but a gift nonetheless. Because when you know your time is counted, you stop spending it on things that don't matter. You stop waiting for someday. You stop saving your good china. You stop holding back the words. Margaret, the doctor gave you a timeline, but here's what they couldn't give you. They couldn't tell you how to fill that time. That part, that's still yours. This isn't about pretending you're not dying. You are. We all are. You just have the strange, hard, sacred gift of knowing when. And what you do with that knowledge, that's where the story gets written. Not the story of your death, the story of your final season. Meet Dorothy, the letter writer. Let me tell you about Dorothy. Dorothy had stage 4 lung cancer. She'd been a 2-pack-a-day smoker in her youth. She knew. She was 71, and she had a granddaughter named Sophie, who was only 7. Dorothy's grief wasn't just about dying. It was about all the moments she'd miss. Sophie's first dance, her 16th birthday, her graduation, her wedding maybe, the moments a grandmother dreams about. So Dorothy bought a box of stationery, cream-colored, simple, and she started writing. She wrote a letter for Sophie's 8th birthday, and her 9th, and her 10th. One for her 13th birthday, when being a teenager feels impossible. One for her 16th, about driving and boys and not rushing to grow up. One for her 18th, about freedom and responsibility. One for her 21st. One for her wedding day, whenever that might be. She wrote 18 letters, one for each year until Sophie turned 25. And on the outside of each envelope, in shaky but determined handwriting, she wrote, "To be opened on your nth birthday, with all my love, Grandmother Dorothy." Dorothy died 6 weeks after her diagnosis, but Sophie's 30 now, and every single year, on her birthday, her mother hands her an envelope, and for those few minutes, while she reads, her grandmother is alive again. Words, Margaret, words stay. What have you never said? Who needs to hear that you see them, that you're proud, that you forgive them, that they mattered? You still have time to say it. Not someday, now. The 7 gifts of a final season. Margaret, I want to give you something. A framework. Not a to-do list, not a way to be productive in your dying, but 7 gifts, 7 ways to make these days full. Not full of pain, full of presence, full of love, full of you. Gift 1, the gift of words. Say everything you've been saving. Write it down, record it, speak it out loud. Tell your daughter why you're proud of her. Tell your son you forgive him for that fight you had 10 years ago that neither of you mentioned. Tell your husband what loving him taught you. Leave voice messages. Record yourself reading a favorite poem. Tell stories from your childhood, the ones only you remember. Your voice will be missed, Margaret. Let 'em keep it. Gift 2, the gift of presence. Be here, fully here. Not in the past, not in the what-ifs. Here. Taste your tea. Really taste it. Feel the warmth of the cup in your hands. Look at the faces of the people you love. Not past them, at them. Notice the color of your grandchild's eyes, the sound of your husband's laugh, the way the light comes through the kitchen window at 4 in the afternoon. These small things, Margaret, they're not small, they're everything. Gift 3, the gift of reconciliation. Make peace where you can, not because you have to, but because carrying bitterness into your final season is like carrying stones when you need your hands free for love. That sister you haven't spoken to in 12 years, call her. You don't have to fix everything, but you can say, I don't want this to be how it ends. That old wound, that grudge you held so long it feels like part of you. You can put it down now, Margaret. It's okay. You can let it go. Gift 4, the gift of story. You are the only person alive who remembers certain things. The way your mother sang while she did the dishes. The winter the snow was so high you had to climb out the second-story window. How you met your husband. What it felt like to hold your babies for the first time. Tell those stories. Let someone record you. Sit with your grandchildren and talk. Not about the cancer. About you, your life, your laughter, your lessons. You are not just a diagnosis, Margaret. You are a library of memories. And when you're gone, those books close forever unless you pass them on. Gift 5, the gift of order. This one isn't romantic, but it's love. Make the hard decisions now while you can. Update your will. Write down your wishes for your funeral. Do you want music? Which songs? Tell them where the important papers are. What to do with your wedding ring. Who should get the quilt you made. It feels morbid, I know, but Margaret, it's a gift, because the people you love will be drowning in grief, and if you've left them clear instructions, you've given them one less burden to carry. You've given them permission to grieve instead of guess. Gift 6, the gift of joy. Choose joy, Margaret, even now, especially now. Eat the cake. If you can still taste sweetness, taste it. Laugh at the old stories. Watch the movie that always makes you cry laugh. Sit outside and feel the sun. Dance in your kitchen, even if it's only for 30 seconds, even if you have to hold on to the counter. Your pain is real, but so is your capacity for joy. And joy in the face of death is not denial, it's defiance. It's a way of saying, I'm still here, and while I am, I will live. Gift 7, the gift of legacy. What will remain when you're gone? Not things, not money. Maybe it's a scholarship in your name, even a small one. Maybe it's a tree planted in your favorite park. Maybe it's a recipe you teach your granddaughter who will make it for her children someday. Maybe it's the way you loved people well in your final weeks and they never forgot what that looked like. Legacy isn't about being remembered by the world, Margaret. It's about leaving love behind in the hearts of a few people who mattered and letting that love ripple forward. Direct address to Margaret. Margaret, if you've made it this far, thank you. I know you're tired. I know some days the pain is so loud you can't hear anything else. I know you're scared, but I need you to hear this. You are not a burden. You are not a tragedy. You are not a lost cause. You are a woman who has lived, who has loved, who has mattered. And you still do. Right now, today, this moment, you still matter. The days ahead will be hard. There will be pain. There will be fear. There will be moments when you want it to be over. That's okay. You're allowed. But in between those moments, there will also be light, a hand holding yours, a song that makes you smile, the taste of something sweet, the face of someone you love. Don't miss those moments, Margaret. They're still yours. You've been given a hard gift, the gift of knowing. And what you do with that knowing, that's the final chapter of a beautiful story.